What's up, everybody? This is Greg. I am your host for the ADV1 podcast with the Evangelon Brokers. I have with me two very special guests. I have Mr. Chris Curry. Chris, how are you doing today?
I can't take things seriously right now because we can see Spencer's face. It's crazy. That's the blackout portrait. This is amazing. So I'm great. I had an interesting weekend, a surprising weekend. What about you, Spencer? How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Well, I got to do the introduction. You're messing up the flow. I got to do the introduction.
I want the claps.
No, you're going to get something better because he just introduced. He effed up your introduction, but I got Spencer Long. Yeah. So, how's everything going, guys? It has been a crazy last week.
Phones. I thought my phone couldn't get any more full. Yeah. I have 137 text messages I still need to respond to. So I apologize if you fall in that category.
I can vouch for that because you sent me a screenshot, and I was like, I can only pay attention to the 137 number that you have at the top.
Anxiety.
Yeah, that makes me anxious.
I'll say we're coming up at the 2-month mark. I think August 9th was when this huge kind of wave started happening. And I thought that it cannot get crazier than that. It can't get busier than that. But man, I think we were all wrong because this last 2 weeks has definitely tested all of us. So
Absolutely. And so thank you guys both. I don't think we've ever had both of you guys on the ADV1 podcast. This is monumental. So
why we should do this more. I
know this is a great way to do this. In fact, I'm going to do a shameless plug. 2 plugs. If anyone's watching this, you make sure that you're going to the Evangelon Brokers store where we have all of our ADV1 swag. You can get the hashtag t-shirts, you can get polos, you can get pants, shorts, all kinds of stuff, hats, name tags. But go check out the store. Make sure you're getting swag and make sure you're getting any of your, like, for instance, right now, Chris Curry is wearing one of our polos.
Oh, let's see it.
So
don't sleep on the red.
Don't sleep on the red. So make sure you're getting that. Maybe make sure you're getting any kind of memorabilia or merchandise that you need to get while you're out in the field. Secondly, is if you're watching this this is the first time that Chris and Spencer have been on together. So here with the ADV1 podcast, we keep it light, we keep it real, we keep it raw, and so we usually have a little bit of conversation firsthand and chit chat back and forth. So, but let's just get to the topic. Let's be real. Everybody wants to know what's going on.
My carriers have been calling me. What are you guys doing? Where are you moving? I mean, like rookie signings are happening right now. Who are you going to draft with? What's happening?
Yeah.
And it's crazy because I know that some of you guys saw the video we shot on Friday, and basically that was only supposed to be towards our distribution. I had carrier reps calling me going, what is this? Is this real? Am I being punked right now? What's happening? Did you get, what's going on? And I think that more than anything else, we truly we're fighting for independence for Evangelon Brokers, and you don't become an IMO by yourself. It's a lot of moving parts, a lot of different strategic partnerships you have to make to climb that trek. A lot of people aren't really teaching people how to do that, and one of the few that are in my mentor, Brian has done a really good job of teaching us how to survive on our own, I would say, and we've been able to be blessed by some of the best tutelage of growing some of the most massive IMOs in the insurance industry, watching these giants do it hands-on. And I think more than anything, especially with the Quility relationship, with this migration that came over, nobody could have anticipated it. Nobody could anticipate us getting as big as we got, as quickly as we got. And I think the biggest thing is that we went almost overnight to somebody that could be pushed around, could be seen as you need to do this because we said so, to that's not reality anymore. Little boys are growing up. So it took us for a stance because we had to make a stand essentially for the independence of advantage brokers because we truly believe in everything that we're preaching. Make more money with us, not more comp, right? We'll put more back into our agencies and resources into you than anybody else. And we're going to create strategic partnerships that allow our distribution, our agents in the field to win. Meaning we want to make the sales process easier to do business with us than anyone else out there. And I truly believe that we secured a perfect marriage and a perfect way to do that. There was that video is not around anymore. It's deleted and scrubbed from the internet. But one of the people that reached out to us and really made most of this happen, he's like, you guys put me on blast. I don't want to be seen as that guy that's shaking the waves. But me and Spencer from the bottom of our hearts want to thank this person because we are going to be partnered with them and doing business with them for a very, very long time. So those of you that saw the original video, you're in the know on that. We're still going to get access to Kansas City Live, GCU, Oxford, SILAC, which are some carriers that are going to be coming on board with us, supporting everything that we're doing for 1099 independent agents business across the country. But I think the biggest thing that happened this weekend was a message of unity, meaning a come together, and it was with me, Spencer, and my mentor, Brian, saying, hey guys, we may have moved too quick and too fast on some of the things that we're trying to build and we're trying to develop. But the biggest thing is we don't want to ever see you playing for another team. We want to make sure that we're married and that we're going down our goals and our companies are headed the same direction together. So independence for management brokers is going to remain with you and Spencer. You guys have control of all operational decisions, and we're going to be shoulder to shoulder in terms of contracts, in terms of business moving forward. You're going to get access to all Quility tech, and in addition to that, I want to make sure that we're creating a strength of unity, because the biggest thing that I think happened over the weekend is we would get more calls from our competitors. We thinned our herd. We saw necessarily the people that were here just to take some leads from us and really be in a position where they are, I would say, being a little bit more than entrepreneurialist. They smelled blood in the water, so they looked at trying to take advantage of a situation where they thought that we may not be a house united. And I can tell you, after today, after this weekend, it couldn't be further from the truth. So a couple questions that were answered from most of the agents were, okay, what's happening? Are we losing this? Are we losing this? Everything that has been promised, you guys are going to get. Our whole carrier product portfolio that has been rolled out already, yes, you're still getting that. All the Quility tech, yes, you're still getting that. Quility term, of course, still getting that. In addition to that, are we adding on additional carriers? Yes, you're still getting that. In my opinion, we got the best of both worlds and create a stronger union for advantage brokers so that the distribution will be leading in the front from not only a carrier standpoint, still with the lead standpoint, but now one of the things that we don't do as well as some of the other companies, analytics, technology, that Quility is so good with, that is going to be taken on by them and essentially distributed through the advantage brokers funnels. And in return, obviously, our lead resources that we do so well is going to be continuing to flow through that channel as well. So I think that it's the perfect marriage for what we want. And the biggest thing is we weren't looking to, me and Spencer had the opportunity through this migration to sell out a lot of, and just cash out and go raise our children. And the biggest thing is we didn't want to be seen as sellouts. There's a lot of people out there that are trying to take advantage of the situation, trying to, get rich quick. This is not a get rich quick business, right? This is a get rich slow business essentially, but you definitely do get rich if you do things the right way. And so the biggest thing out there is that for those of you guys out there that are offering, here's $30,000, here's $50,000 a payoff, if you will, to kind of entice agents to come over to a company. I don't think that that's right. I think that guilty companies pay people off, right? When you're having all of this money that you're taking advantage from the majority of your distribution and then giving out these bonuses that were temporary, and then because the system doesn't work, they're not able to make consistent sales, weekly sales, monthly sales, make money with them. that money goes through quicker than you'll know what to do with. And the companies that are paying people off to kind of right their past sins, whether it be oil companies that are spilling into creeks and into our water supply, or banking companies that are charging too much for fees and essentially stealing with us behind closed doors. These companies out there, it's not right. It's not good. And me and Spencer really went to the mat, and we wouldn't have been able to go to the mat if we didn't have all this all these agents that stood by us and said, we're with you, what's going to happen. As long as the message doesn't change, we want independence for advantage brokers as well. So we secured that. And the strongest relationship really is with the Quility family. It's where we're going to get ahead in all channels of our distribution. And we're really happy that they wanted to welcome us in as much as we did. So we weren't trying to pander to the crowd. We weren't trying to be dramatic over the past week, but the reality is that this business is a cutthroat business, and I will tell you.
If I can piggyback off of what you said so far, Chris. I think it's important for all these agents to know our intentions and what motivates me and you and Greg to also kind of get out of bed every morning and go to work for Advantage One Brokers, flying our colors. Is we've made multiple promises to all of you and all of our distribution about what it looks like to really work with Advantage One Brokers. A company based off the principles of transparency, doing what we say when we say it, and also leading from the front. And so I think what kind of led us to these couple different transactions over the last couple weeks was those ideologies being threatened, or potentially us not being able to kind of fulfill some of the promises we made all to you, which led us to do those podcasts, do that discussion last Friday. But again, our intention, I think it's important to know, is always to do right what's for the agents. Every single one of us on this call today is an agent. Some of us are still in the field. Some of us are still leading in the front. And so that's kind of what makes us look at these other options. That's what's also made us kind of communicate to all of you about what was going on. At the end of the day, like Chris had said, after a lot of going back and forth and looking at all of the options and really looking at the play field, we're excited to continue to do business with our partnerships of Quility, all the owners of Brian Pope, and being able to leverage and utilize some of those tools for all of you guys as well.
Yeah, I think something to highlight, just to kind of focus in on a lot of things that you were saying, Chris, because you went over a lot of topics. Side note, you ever seen Luther, the translator, the anchor translator? You should go look it up. Anywho, he's President Obama's anger translator.
Yes.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. So I feel like I'm your translator, but I'm the opposite. So you're just like we're doing this. I'm like, Chris is trying to say is that we're gonna go ahead.
I'll talk all night. Run on sentences. So yeah, continue.
so I think the surprise that I saw and I felt it was just almost palpable in that meeting that we had was the level of support from all the agents 100%. That were on there. And people were just like, let's do it. Like we're creating something new. Everyone here sees the vision, and that's that's the why. I'm a very big Simon Sinek fan. Very 100. It's 100% of the 5. 100% of the 5, making everybody succeed, spending time with those that we can help, that want to be helped, and helping putting them in the best position possible, and serving them to be successful and also grow together. And we had a massive outpouring support, but I think secondly is the carrier support.
That was shocking.
So
how many carriers called us directly and said, wherever you go, we got your back.
But not only that, but like through these almost this convergence of events that happened, this is the way it happened. It couldn't have happened any better, I think. Not only did we saw the support of all the carriers that are like, we see what you guys are doing and we support it. But then on top of that, we got partnerships with very unique carriers that are like, we want in.
Yeah.
So with Kansas City Life, with GCU,
Absolutely.
like
Absolutely.
I don't think that some agents, maybe you don't realize how powerful that is, having those in your arsenal, having those in your tool bag while you're on the field, and because you're going to be able to do products that most companies don't have access to.
And our
So
margins are going to be protected to where we can still be putting all the cost share back in to make sure that you guys are provided the cheapest lead possible in each one of your metrics. And it's compared to apples. So like whatever market that we're working in, you're still going to be leading the field from having a better rate of return on your investment for lead distribution than anywhere else that we found. And so I think that the biggest thing, and that's the most important thing to Spencer, is he said the most of my agency's success in my Pacific downline, my silo, has been mainly because they don't have to go broke on leads. And again, as I have said over and over and over again, never has this happened with advanced brokers. I spent $3,000 on leads. I've been here 45 days. I've gone any of your training calls, and I haven't made a single sale. I haven't made any money. I haven't got my money back. That's never happened. Now, not now. Normally, it'll get well. I got $3,000 in leads, and I haven't made I didn't make 20 grand. But never are you not getting a return on your investment on our end. And so I think that that's the biggest thing of a shelter. I mean, advanced brokers, for anyone that's saying, hey, what's going on over there? We are a safe haven. We don't mind if you grow through us and beyond us. But that is essentially what we wanted to make sure that this place stayed, and we were able to protect that through the weekend. I mean, one of the things about my mentor, who is one of the best and brightest in this insurance industry, you don't ever want to meet his attorneys. We hate them. Spencer doesn't want to go through that again. He's over here like, I just need a vacation from, I don't ever think I want to speak to anyone from a legal counsel again. But we're past that. We've moved forward through that. We've maintained complete control. So I think that what happens next is we are going to refocus on not only our value proposition of making sure we make the sales process for insurance agents down or destroyed. We see you, and good luck in your quest.
Good luck.
I will tell you, we're not going to go down by the biggest and brightest. We're definitely not going to go down by some scrub buckets.
You guys, I think it's
anything else you want to add on that, but
I think it's even past that. I mean, for those of you that know me, I hate the politics of this business. I absolutely cannot stand them. I definitely know it is a part of this business, but that's also why we try to put it on our shoulders so you guys don't have to do it. So I think what happens next, what's the most important thing is, let's all go to work, do what we're supposed to be doing, make a bunch of money, protect some families, make sure we're doing a service to our clients, and we don't have to worry about anymore about, hey, well, what are they doing over there, or what are they doing behind us? We should have one team united and continue to kind of have a good foundation now to build on, and we can all go do what we do best now.
Absolutely.
So what I'd like to do is, Greg, have the most questions that you've seen come in of where there's some confusion is allow me and Spencer to answer some of those questions so we can put those rumors that might be floating around to rest.
So well, first off, what I'd like to highlight is when this announcement was made, we kind of were telling agents like, hey, just keep doing what you're doing, but obviously there's still some anxiety there. And one of the reasons that we were trying to tell that was there's different when it comes to any organization. There's gonna be different levels, and how you go, you're gonna have to deal with different things. Your optics are gonna be a little bit wider, etc. And so why we were trying to explain to agents, because a lot of people are coming. I've had people say like, I don't agree with telling the agents that if it wasn't set in stone. And from our perspective was, we wanted to tell the agents because we wanted to make sure that everybody was aware from every level going down what the moves were being made. Because if you were like, hey, this isn't for me, we respect it. And we're giving you the opportunity to leave at this point. And we don't want you to find out on the tail end that something was made without letting the distribution know. So there's like true transparency. So
And we released some agents in that period of time. I won't lie to you.
Yeah.
And just so, oh, it seems like bumpy. I don't know what's going to happen. And fear will do that for
Yeah.
you. So that's why I want to get on this call and have a conversation with people of, necessarily what you feel that the fear is. As I've said, I didn't feel like the distribution was going to feel it. The anxiety that they thought may or may not happen. It would have been a bigger slap to us if they felt like we were lying to the distribution. As we want to make sure we're transparent with you about what we were doing, why we were doing it, and the direction we were headed. So you're right, Greg.
I guess it's kind of like if you're a mayor of a town, and you think there's a chance an earthquake might happen. Do you want to tell the city people so they can go run for cover, or do you want to just see what happens?
Yeah, you could take the position of, hey, we don't want the town to get in a panic, because if they're in a panic, there's going to be rioting in the streets. Stores are going to be broken into. It's going to be complete chaos. Yep. Or maybe you treat them, have them put their big boy pants on. You treat them like an adult, and you talk to them like adults, and you see how they handle it. Right. And you tell them like, hey, this is what we're doing. We're prepping for it. The mayor is prepping for it. Is prepping for every contingency. We want you to keep living your life. We want you to keep doing your things. If this happens, don't worry. You guys are going to get notified, and we will take care of all the precautions going forward. And that's a great analogy. And the reason why I wanted to bring it up is because why we were telling that to agents, like, hey, just don't worry about it, which agents naturally still did, was because on the back end, we had Spencer that was spending all of his time for the past, literally, how many days now? Like the past 5 business days?
It was a solid week. Yeah, solid week.
So, like, with Quility and with lawyers, basically negotiating to get the deal exactly to where it was back where it should be. And we were able to strike that deal. And so why that's why we're like, hey, nothing's changed. You're still going to have the Quility term. You're still going to have this, showing that. Just keep writing business. We're just letting you know of the potential change in the environment. And
I think that's the biggest thing is through this period of time, like we didn't go there and say, hey, this is going to be a financial burden, so we're going to have to cut your bonuses down. We can't pay you this, right? Yeah. We're not going to. We took the financial burden on for ourselves, and that's the crazy thing is why would we transition that to you? If we're in this position of responsibility and we make a decision, we need to be held accountable for that on both sides. At the same time, you need to understand what we're going through and what's happening through this process. So the main thing I want to answer for this more than anyone else is that, well, are you guys limping? Are you guys hurt? Are you weak? We're going to be stronger now through this strategic partnership and through the additional partnership that we just acquired than we've ever been before. Access to higher capital for lead cost shares, access to better carriers and products than we've ever had before, and then the carriers that have been supporting us through this period of time, our relationships with them are only going to get stronger and stronger and stronger as we go. As it said, well, do you guys have access to everything else that some of your competitors have? We have access to everything that they have and more. There's no tier that we're going to put our agents in a position in that they're not outbeating all of our competition. So I just want to be really clear with that.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Greg.
And I think it's important to know that, like, a few weeks ago, 3-4 weeks ago, we had a carrier that dropped out, and the stance that we took as a company of like, hey, we are all about the individual 1099 agent and giving them freedom to be able to write and do whatever they want. And when we have companies that come in and do that for whatever reason, the way that we did our stance, obviously it made an impact across the industry, because now we're getting companies like GCU. Now we're getting companies like Kansas City Life. Now we're getting all these extra carriers that see the way that we're taking this stance.
Right.
And they're willing to push that fight with us. So I think that's just a good thing to really like nail down with agents. It's like, hey, if I understand what companies you may be used to, and whatever your practice company, your IMO is telling you about moving to another company or doing whatever, but understand that there are companies out there, there are carriers out there, like, hey, when somebody wanted to leave from us, did we use fear tactics to say, oh, well, they're not going to take care of you, they're not going to do this, there's going to be no. Hey, I completely understand. Good luck.
Bye.
Deuces. You obviously our value proposition doesn't fit your life or what you're looking for, and that's fine.
And
here's
it's
your
not,
here's your
it's not,
contract.
it's not a negative
It,
conversation. I only want to
it's
work with
not
agents that want to work with me.
exactly.
If people want to go and they think that it's going to be better elsewhere, that's why we release their contracts. Is a lot of people will come back. I don't want to have a relationship with agents where they're like, well, I'm going to ask for a release, but are they gonna be mad at me, or is this going to okay? Bye, release contracts. Well, you're going to sign it, right? Yeah. Like it's crazy to me how many agents come to us and they're freaking out that we will release their contract, even if they've done something wrong with us, even if they slandered us, even if they talked bad about us. It's like I don't get that. I don't get that concept of we're going to lock you up just because. And so I was a 1099 independent contractor. This is the biggest thing. If somebody did not release my contract, I'm never doing business with them again. I
Right.
don't care what the reason is. I'm never doing business with them again.
Mm-hmm.
And so to that degree, it's just a stance that we're never going to take with advantage from brokers. Outside of the carrier guidelines, we're going to follow the carrier guidelines always. If there's a god awful amount of debt, that'll be something that bogs you down. They're not going to release your contracts if you own 20 grand to a carrier. But outside of that, yeah, it doesn't matter if you bought 20
Well,
leads last week.
let me say one more thing too. I talked about this with Chris quite frequently over the last week or two. One of the advices that my previous mentor gave me, and I never really understood it until somewhat recently, is he mentioned, hey, the worst mistake you can ever make is create your own IMO. And I never really understood it. And I started noticing I created it the same way my previous mentor created his, is because I saw the kind of the playing field of all the different options out there. I think Chris can probably attest to this as well. We didn't start Advantage One Brokers because we're just trying to make a bunch of money. We started Advantage One Brokers because we did not see a comparable model out there in our competition that could do the same things that we're trying to promote and have the basic core principles of. So
Or
again,
that we're doing currently.
that's why I say very often that, hey, the core founding principles of Advantage One Brokers usually are coming from a place of personal previous experience.
Mm-hmm.
Things like having, visibility, clarity, knowing what you don't know, commission levels, leads, leadership, all those different kind of things. And that's what we're trying to continue to, veil the message as we can continue forward with Advantage One Brokers.
Yeah.
Right. And there'll be mistakes along the way. We'll fix them.
Yep.
You didn't receive all of the your lead order form took 4 weeks to fulfill instead of the 2 or 3 weeks. You want your money back? Here, we'll refund them. We'll refund the money. You haven't received your leads? Here, no problem. We're going to make mistakes along the way, but the difference is that we're not going to sit there and say like, oh, well, this is on you, or this is. We're going to fix it, and we're going to get better and better and better, just like our carriers are going to get better and better and better. And here's the best part: our leads are going to get better and better and better because our business model is to put more money back into our distribution than anyone else is. And I think that that's the biggest thing that is that needs to be taken away from with the Advantage From Brokers model is if you're thinking of, is this a good fit for me? You will make more money with us for sure, not necessarily more comp. It's not the same thing, and you really want to walk through that. Quality is a lot better than the perception of quantity, if that makes sense.
And I've had I recorded a podcast today with an agent that came from my previous practice company, and they were like, "Man, I was like having PTSD when I got my first lead batch. First person I called, they didn't answer. I texted them, and they were like, "Hey, I'm available now. Let's talk." She was like, sold them over the phone right then. She was like, "These leads are unbelievable. Like these are unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it." And she'd been in the industry for a while. And it's like, dude, you can say all day long that a lead's a lead's a lead, or you can even say we have the same mailers. You don't. You don't have the same mailers. They're not the same. The value is way different. I've tested a lot of leads from a lot of companies. Nothing like these.
You may have the same letter, you don't have the same data, and
No.
you're not mailing from our mail house, and you're not mailing at the speeds that we're mailing. There's a lot of variables that go into that, other than just the letter that goes out. It could be a window envelope versus a closed envelope. There's a lot of little strategic details that you can get to get your return percentages higher. But from a lead standpoint, I kind of do hate talking about leads on the podcast only because they're going to get full. It's going to get to a point where we can't. We're already blacked out in Las Vegas. We can't. If you're coming on board in Las Vegas, more section of leads are not going to be available. Final expense are getting quick to the point where they won't be available. So We are going to get full on the direct mail side, but we have a lot of additional lead programs we're launching this week now that everything has been married up. And in addition to that, the IUL lead will be launching this week. So you guys are going to have access to a lot more potential sales outside of, and it's better than the mortgage protection lead. There I said it. You're going to get a higher rate of return off these than you are off of the mortgage protection direct mail. So we're adding on additional systems and different additional lead resources. But as we continue to do that, as we take the revenue and put it back in to make sure that you guys have the best in terms of lead distribution, it is going to get full, and it's going to continue to get full and full and full.
Absolutely. Spencer, you spent the week talking to the lawyers and getting everything squared away. I'm sure you're all.
Do I look tired? Do I look?
You look so tired. I thought it was probably because your name tag was purple, but it's probably why your purple name tag.
Well, I'm gonna make his face red. I have to. I gotta say this for anyone that ever doubted Spencer being young and the president of Advanced Brokers. I did not realize how great of a decision that was until the past 2 weeks. I'll tell you right now. This man has been working 100 to 90 hours a week. It's been crazy. His wife has been calling me going like, Spencer's a completely different person right now. The money's only so much. I need a better work-life balance. Like, he has been grinding and fighting for you guys harder than I've ever seen any president do. And from a distribution standpoint, I sat there and I was like, he's okay. He's this. I've never seen someone work the way and put his money where his mouth is the way Spencer has over these past 2 weeks. So I just have to say that, Spencer. I'm gonna let you speak, and I'm not gonna take it.
Man. I mean, we all
you did an amazing job in these negotiations, because I'm not a patient person, and so from a leadership standpoint, we have the best in Spencer Long. He leads from the front. He's someone that started in this business almost 9 years ago. He took all of his personal production that he was writing and leading from the front, making American April's trip almost every single year in their top 25. And the cool thing about that is he's taking this money. Yeah, he's driving around in a McLaren, but he's putting it back into his agencies, back into Advantage Brokers, back into his distribution. So we would not be here today without Spencer Long, 150%. So I just got to give you a heads up on that, man. You did a great job.
Appreciate it.
So,
we're all grinding.
So you've been grinding this week. What message do you want to tell the agents based on everything that you were able to get through and accomplish? And I guess what's the message that you want to impart after everything that you just went through and what we just accomplished?
I mean, shoot, like I said, hey, I hate politics. The reason I have been fighting with so many different people, and we've been fighting collectively to kind of get the deal that we have, is for all of you guys, so you don't have to worry about this stuff. So shoot, if you guys were to listen to this podcast right now in this video, my vision or my dream is don't worry about it anymore. Okay, it's done. I don't want the agent, and the agent shouldn't have to focus on this stuff or even worry about this stuff. That's what my job is. That's what our job is. So again, like Chris said, nothing should change. If anything, it's only going to get better. Relationships are going to get stronger. Products availability, resources are going to become more available. So if I had one message to say out of this whole thing is, again, I'm a huge believer in everything happens for a reason. And I'm sure there's some people on this video right now going, same thing we talked about is that they should have never even told us what's going on last Friday, because we wouldn't even have to do a second follow-up call. But going back to, I truly believe everything happens for a reason, is we are going to have some exclusive partnerships coming on. We're going to have some new availability, new lead sources, both with direct mail and live transfer. There's some very exciting things coming up, probably launching within the next week, 2 weeks tops. I guess that's my message is, again, just try not to let what has been said try to dictate what you're doing with your personal day-to-day life, especially in this business. Because I know as an agent, what my goal is, hey, I want to put my head down, go to work, help some families, and maybe even help some agents along the way. And so I don't have to focus on any of the politics or what's going on behind the scenes.
Absolutely.
But for those of you that, you start doing $1 million a month in production, and you want to start to take on some of those politics, you have a great mentor in Spencer to lead you through those things, because he's fought the fires. He's seen what it looks like on the other side. So if you want to develop those skill sets, come join us, grow through us.
I think that's another good point. Is, obviously everyone has the ability to do what they want to do in a wholesale model here. They can grow through you guys, like you've said, become their own IMO. This is a good look at like the kind of difficulties you're going to run into. This is not something that's like a one-off. IMOs run into these kind of difficulties all the time. And
not as public as this might have been, but yeah, all the time. It's just quiet. It's done behind the scenes. So
yeah.
So the biggest thing though is we're always going to be transparent with you through that process.
Yeah. Well, gentlemen, it sounds so. Just to wrap up everything, we were able to come to an agreement, staying with Quility, come to an agreement with them so that the agents get to continue to you benefit from all the Quility tech coming out in the future.
DFL, Quility term.
Yep. And we're looking at DFL, what we said, maybe the first week of January for the next Quility. Okay.
Yep.
So another announcement, we're going to pick the specific weekend. We're going to wait through the holidays since we're so close. Wait through the holidays. We're going to do another DFL training in January, and then we'll have them continuously from there on. I think since we have more time to plan it, we can probably plan to get a little bit more people there, not just 50. But details on that will come as soon as we have them. But we were able to continue with Quility. We also got some, like you said, some proprietary carriers out of it. We got to keep them with Kansas City Live, GCU, more lead sources. So we are always going to do everything in our power in order to make sure that the agents are taken care of and they have the best foot forward in the field. Besides that, any parting words, guys?
I have seen what Quility is developing firsthand, and the ownership over there is the technology that they're building for the sales side is unmatched, and it's going to roll out next year, and that is, in my opinion, the biggest win for us, and the biggest. It's great that we get to create that strategic partner, because the money it would have cost for us to duplicate it or even start the testing process is millions on millions on millions that they've already put into it. So it's already built. The system and the foundation is laid out. They just need a whole bunch of distribution to flow through it. And I can tell you that's going to be Advantage from Brokers. There are some career channels as well that are partnered with the Quility relationship that are volume partners that are going to do that as well. And they'll probably get access to it probably a month before we do. But from the wholesale side, we are going to crush anybody that's competing with us in the marketplace from a technology standpoint, a lead standpoint, and a carrier standpoint. Our carrier portfolio, no one has the portfolio like we have. So it's a powerhouse, and it's nice to unify together. And now look outward to anyone that's competing against us. And I don't know if I'll let you close out, Spencer, but I'm super excited for what we're going to do now.
The last thing I'd say, just to reiterate what we kind of already mentioned on this call, that I was taken back with a lot. I know Chris was taken back with it a lot. I'm sure Greg was too. Was just the overwhelming support that we got from all of you guys. So I can't tell you guys how much that means to me. I am extremely excited for what the future holds for all of us. I love the foundation that we've created. I love the people that we have working with us. And I think if we get nothing more, just letting us all go to work, like I keep kind of talking about, and letting us continue to kind of go in the direction that we all are looking for, I'm extremely excited to do business with everybody involved with Advantage One. So other than that, I appreciate it. Greg, anything else you got to say for me?
Well, I would like to say this.
Go ahead.
I'd like you to announce your Quility term competition.
We're going to do that now.
That's what I want. Okay. I want it out. Starting from October 6th, let's do tomorrow, to November 13th. We'll run the reports and analytics now that we got it all. Tell me what we're doing. Who we got checks to.
Okay, let's break this down. So, so we are doing a month plus long Quility competition for Quility term. So anybody that writes in net issue paid the most Quility term between the months or between the dates of October 6th to November 13th, we're going to pull the reports and there'll be the top 10 winners. Number one place, first place. Guess what they get, Chris?
It's got like a Starbucks gift card or something. Right?
5,000 smackaroons, $5,000.
5Gs.
5Gs. And that
Christmas,
person is going to get flown out to Sacramento and get on a live podcast with Chris Spencer and I. And we're going to give you the money live on a podcast, and you get to talk about your month of doing the Quility term and what it was like. Second place is going to be, I believe we said $2,500 for second place.
That's correct.
And then third and fourth place were both. Third place was like $1,500. Fourth place was $1,000.
Yes. And what we'll do is we'll send an email out to everybody tomorrow to get them the
breakdown.
But the biggest thing is next month, Quility Term is releasing Return of Premium. I mean, it'll be November. I think it's first week of November. We want everyone familiar with that product because it is a world-changing product line. When the Return of Premium gets added to it and the additional add-ons that get added in January, I think everybody's going to be selling the heck out of it.
Yeah, I'm being told too, so it'll apply towards this competition. I'm being told by the end of this month, so the end of October, hopefully before we see November coming around, Return of Premium will be launched.
Yeah.
So that's
a game. It's a game changer. So for those of the agents that are here at Advantage One, you have make sure you get your SPLI contract. Sometimes it doesn't matter about the competition in terms of time frame. If you don't have your SPLI product or carry contract, guess what? You could get it in a week and you could still win the competition. Don't fret. Just let us know if you don't have it, or we will push it through. We'll get it kind of expedited to get through, and we'll make sure that
And for those of you, quick little highlight on that too, Greg. We're getting some people that maybe didn't get the email of where your writing number is for the SBLI term. So first, check your spam. If you don't have it and you feel like, hey, I sent that in a week ago or 2 weeks ago, reach out to us because we literally got sent a report today, and there's 1,500 agents on that list that actively have writing numbers
with SBLI. And if you have that, you have the Quility term.
What is the email address coming from so they can search it in there? It's not coming from Advantage Broker. It's coming from where, Spencer? What's the email?
I couldn't tell you without looking it up.
You know what? I can look it up while we're on here.
That'd be awesome.
Because it'll take me a second. I have it bookmarked. Yeah, I want to say. So, for SBLI, it just says it's no reply at SBLI.com.
Yeah, so look, just search SBLI. And you'll
just search SBLI. You should be able to find it, even if you search in your spam. So, but it is a no reply at SBLI.com.
All right, so we'll get that email out to everybody tomorrow, so you guys know the commission. But you can put the pitchforks down and stop the burning torches. Everything's fine. Time to go back to work.
Yep, and we're gonna move forward. Contracting's gonna be sped up. We're gonna be getting more carrier contracts, more lead sources. So there are a lot of things in the future to be excited about that are coming our way. Just you guys wait.
We have about 18,000 contracts to process. It will all be done within the next week and a half. So bear with us.
Well, gentlemen, I appreciate you taking the time to come on, speak with me, speak with the agents. We got to do this more often. Maybe do like a Q&A.
Let's do it.
I like the idea of that. So for everyone else watching, thank you so much for taking part in the ADV1 podcast. I'm your host, Greg Birch. And if you're watching this on YouTube, what I want you guys to do is make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications so that when we come to you each and every weekday, you are getting that notification, or getting that information. We also want to make sure that every single time that, or if you watch this, you've got any value out of it, make sure that you go ahead and share it. That is the fee. Share this content if you got any value out of it. Like the video, share it, subscribe. Until next time, we'll see you guys. Thank you.